Hello everyone. This is a pretty high impact workout. We're threading our arms, which means we're gonna be defining our arms so you're looking great for the beach, great in tank tops. We're alternating arm workouts and cardio workouts for exactly that purpose. Start in plank position and shift your hips back into V pose, rolling forward into plank. This is warming up your core and your whole body. Make sure that you're rounding as much as possible when you come forward, so that you're pulling your navel in and then shooting out forward into that nice straight plank position. Be very light on your feet. Don't press too far back into your heels, not to overstretch your calves. Then continue with the plank saws. You need a little bit of a cushioning, a mat or a carpet. So come down onto your elbows underneath your shoulders, forearms are parallel. And you're sawing forwards and backwards. You're basically pressing forward from your ankles, from your calves, and pressing backwards from your shoulders. So this is a shoulder warm-up and workout. Try to stay on the very same line the whole time, so the hips don't come up too high. Need to correct myself here every now and then. So the hips stay, yeah, that's it. Hips stay on the same height as the shoulders and they don't go up. It's simply moving forward and backwards on the very same line. Very good. Warming up those legs a bit more, stepping forward into forward lunge. This is like a little bit of a fallout. So you can either make it nice and gently, stepping forward, bringing the opposite arm forward, or you can make it a little bit more dramatic by falling forward and just picking the leg out at the very last moment if you're up for a little bit of an adventure. So alternate left and right. Make sure that you're staying not too narrow with your feet, as you can keep your balance quite easily. And don't hit your kneecaps on the floor. I keep doing that all the time for I don't know what reason. Stay upright with your shoulders. Release the shoulder girdle. Very good. Here we go. Nice and easy spine rotation. Into a wide squat. Bring the hands to the inside of your knees. And then push yourself into that nice rotation. Inner shoulder goes in the middle, and then look over your shoulder and come back into the middle. Inhale, exhale, rotate. You want to keep a really long spine so you can twist better. So you want to pick your sitting bones slightly up as to arch your lower back slightly. This will free up your spine so you can twist a little bit more, looking over the back shoulder. And those arms are just helping a little. So you're pressing on the inside of the knee, but this is also preventing the knees from falling in, more for that purpose. So the knees stay open and you keep stretching. Very good. A little bit of cardio just to prep for the more cardio that's coming. Butt kicks, jumping from one leg to the other and trying to pick your feet up to your hips. So this is a great movement to get those calves engaged and the elasticity of your ankles. We're doing a lot of jumping, so we need to get our ankles going and our knees nice and juicy, and this move is just perfect for it. And on top of it, it's a lot of fun. So we're jumping from one leg to the other and picking the foot all the way up to our hips. Now stay upright, don't fold forward too much in the hips, stay extended. And move those arms. Those arms are working at the same pace as those legs. All the way forward and backwards. Make sure you're going backwards as to get this nice shoulder extension. Great! Get a little faster. So this is feet fire, where we try to go as fast as possible with those feet, still lifting the feet up. So you have a little bit of air time, not just dribbling on the ground, but lifting those feet up the floor. You don't want to put the heel down. The heel stays off the floor at all times. Now this one you can't see it because it's from the front, but if you were looking from the side, my upper body is slightly folded forward in a straight, elongated kind of way, because I need to engage my core, and this just helps me pick those knees up a little better. So imagine you're a sprinter, you want to go as fast as possible, lifting those knees up and being really, really quick on the ground with those feet. And imagine that's a very hot surface that you're running on, so you don't want a lot of ground time because you might burn your feet. That's a great image. All right, more air time coming up. Explosive push-ups. You can stay on the knees because this is kind of cool. Now start in a normal push-up position, then go out, wide, middle, and in, and normal, wide, normal, and triceps. So we're jumping explosive, so the arms go in, middle, out, middle, and in. I think you got it. Otherwise you can look at these nice little red dots jumping out, middle, in, middle, out. And those elbows are narrow, wide, extremely wide, wide, and very narrow. So you're changing between the triceps push-ups when you're very narrow and the chest push-ups when you're very wide. Great one. That's soreness guaranteed tomorrow. Here we go with the bird dogs, a little bit for the back. Extending, get into all fours, then lift the left arm and the right leg, shoot out, then crunch it all in the middle, pull the navel in, extending back out, and putting everything back into place. Inhale up, extending, exhale, crunch, inhale, extending out, and putting everything back. So you're always going diagonally, and try not to lift the leg or the hand too high up. You don't want to go into too much of a back bend. As a rule of thumb, approximately hip height. So hand and foot approximately hip height. I'm exaggerating here a little bit because I can, but if you're having a little bit of back problems, then don't go too high. Very good. Here we come, lateral lunges, lateral fallouts. Getting the cardio up and going. Start in the middle, feet parallel, and then fall out to the side. Again, you can make it very dramatic as falling to the side and then stepping out at the very last moment, or you take it at just easy stepping out, sliding the foot out close to the ground. When you're stepping out, I want you to put the inner hand onto the ground. Inner hand is touching the ground. This will give you a nice fold and extension for the whole back line, which is the glutes and the hamstrings. So we're having more of a back chain workout here, putting the weight into your heels. That one's nice. Well done. Coming back to the shoulders, so this is our arm threads, don't forget it. Go into plank position, and we're kicking through, which is a diagonal touch of right hand, left leg, left hand, right leg. And in order to reach up and over, you need to rotate on the sole of your foot. So be careful here, don't rotate on the arches, but do a full rotation as from the toes onto the sole of the foot and back onto the toes, onto the sole of the foot, onto the toes. This will make it much more stable, as if you wobble on your heel or whatever you can come up with. And the hands are pretty standard. Always put the hand back underneath your shoulder where it's most stable. That's one's fun. Well done. So since this was alternating, we're trying another plank position. Simple shoulder taps with the hands underneath your shoulders, and then simply tap your shoulder, tap your back, give yourself a little shoulder tap. Now the shoulder tap is not the challenge here. The challenge is to keep the hip points parallel to the floor, as to not wibble and wobble and rock like a boat, but you do want to be as rock solid as you can in your core. And this is coming from the legs. So if you have a pretty wide stance, it's easier. If you have a very narrow stance, it'll be very difficult to keep your hips in balance. So you need to pull the navel in, narrow your hip points, and get some lift through the front. Lifting more through the front, going into jump outs. This is like a jumping jack, but with different kinds of arms. Now jump out and in, out and in. And the arms are doing a little bit of a swing here. Swing more like front every time you jump. So the arms go lift, 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 lift every time you need to jump. This makes it a lot easier than the jumping jacks, where you go up and down with the arms. And sometimes the arms go down and you need to jump, which is not very ideal. So try these swinging arms here in the dropouts. Chest stays up, shoulders are over your hips. Stay light and quick in your feet. The heels don't need to touch the ground, especially not if you're barefoot. And well done. Get back onto the floor. You need a little bit of cushioning or a mat, because we're putting the elbows down and then walking back up into plank and coming back into Sphinx position, elbows under the shoulders. And here again, don't rock like a boat, don't swing left and right. This is not a swing or a rotation. This is a nice solid plank with the hip points always parallel to the floor. Again, if you need more stability, you can open the feet a little bit wider. If you need a bit more of a challenge, you can close the legs or cross the legs over or jump in between, whatever you can come up with. But feet parallel is pretty fine. Then change arms every now and then, so you're not just walking with the same arm all the time. Well done! Here we come into a super nice T-stand. So you're making a T-shape with your body. Right hand starts on the ground. Then come into that side plank, one foot in front of the other or on top of the other for the extra balance challenge. And then lift the arm all the way across to make a nice extended T-shape. Make sure that the head stays relaxed. It might cramp a bit here. It helps to move the head a little bit. Just looking what other people around you might be doing, if there are some. Probably looking at you. How amazing you're doing a T-stand. Make sure your hips are not sagging. Lift those hips up a little bit more, and a little bit more, and a little bit higher. There you go. Well done. Other side. Left hand on the floor. T-stand. Side plank on your left, so bring the left hand underneath your shoulder. My fingers are pointing forward, that is in the direction of the nose, forward. Then pick up into your side plank, feet are in front of each other or one on top of each other for more balance. You know, every time we work balance, we work our core and our intrinsic muscular skeleton. So getting out of balance and trying to stay in balance is always great for the core. Don't forget to pick the arm up, stay in your nice T-shape, smile a bit, wobble the head a bit as to release the neck if it gets a bit stiff. And well done. Great one. Okay, we're back up in our cardio because we need to shred a bit. That means we need to fat burn, and that's best done by picking up the heart rate, which we're going to do right now with the 3-step fall out here. So we have a step, a step, a step, a step, and the knee comes up, comes up, comes up, comes up. I'm sure you got this. We've been doing this for quite a while now. And just imagine you having little samba rhythm. I'm pretty sure this is a samba. If you know what kind of rhythm this is, post it in the comments. I bet it's a samba. You could definitely go to Rio de Janeiro and do the 3-step sideways drill. Very good. Keep running, keep moving those arms, swing those shoulders. Very good. Right back onto the ground so we can work those shoulders and get some volume there. Go into a reverse all fours position, fingers are pointing out, and then lift up and over into a one-sided back bend, come back into crab position, and then lift over the other side. The hips are lifting and lowering down, lifting up, extending, and lowering down, almost touching the ground, but not entirely. And touching the ground and lifting. Very good. Now those arms are sweeping over and rotating in the upper body, so you can see the ground by following your arm movement. This should feel like you're doing like a backflip in a second. You could do a backflip from here. I'm just kidding. We're not doing backflips. We're just jumping. Here we go, frog jump. So we're starting standing position, going into forward fold, jumping backwards, horse kicking, and then jumping forward. I call this a horse kick, but we could say it's a frog jump or a pony kick. Different variations. Most important is that you're lifting your hips up. If you're not lifting your hips up in the middle, this kick doesn't work. Don't even try. So bring those hips up as if you want to jump into a handstand. This is the preparation for handstanding, which might come in some future videos. Spoiler alert. So we're coming down to the ground, jump into your handstand, frog jump, and come back up. Very good. We're in our last lap, just 4 more exercises to go, starting with the butt kicks to get the heart rate up and running. We've been doing that, so you can have fun now here, being really light on your feet. So picking the heart rate up, doing the cardio, and then alternating with the arm workout or core workout, we also do the core shred, is helping you to burn more fat and to get the afterburn. Especially those jumps are recruiting a lot of muscle fiber that burn a lot of sugar, which is a lot of calories that needs to be replenished from your fat reserves. And this is what the shred looks like. That sucks basically the fat out of your cells and stores them into your muscles. Ain't that amazing? Well done. Here we go with a little bit of a bear hold. Nice quad and core work. Hands underneath the shoulders, come into all fours, and then pick those knees up. 10 centimeters maybe, you don't need to go very high. The challenge is to stay almost hovering over the floor. Now make sure that your feet are in a nice position. I don't want to overextend the heels here. So the heels and the calves, foot and calf should be in a 90-degree angle. Now pulling the navel in and having your upper body really parallel to the floor. This is not a down dog, this is basically in all fours where the knees do not touch the ground. Make sure you pull the shoulders away from the ears and the shoulder blades together. Breathe in. Get back up. 2 more to go. You can do this. Drop outs. Starting and standing, this time we're dropping out, jumping out and jumping in. This is a little bit slower than the jumping jack variation because we're folding forward, touching the ground. Touch the ground, touch the ground. So we're folding in our hips and extending, working a lot more the back chain. So focus on the heels going really on the ground so the hamstrings can work and push back from the ground. Very good. You can have a little bit of a rotation here in your shoulders. Rotation is always good. Move the head a little bit. Keep breathing. Only 1 more left to go. Last one. And that's an easy one. Oh my God, I've been playing with you. So, squat rotation. If you still have energy left, just rewind the video. Otherwise, just come into a low wide squat, having the hands on the inside of your knees, and then rotating the shoulders in, looking over the other shoulder. You don't need to stay that low anymore unless you want to. I just want to calm your heart rate and your breathing rhythm a little bit so we can go into stretching. Exhale when you twist, and then inhale when you come back. Release your shoulders. Exhale, twist. Inhale, come back. And well done. Great. So since we've been working the arms, let's start with stretching the triceps. Put your right hand in between your shoulder blades. Your left hand can, but doesn't have to, grab the shoulder and then pull the arm a little bit towards the ear. But make sure that your head can stay in line with the spine. I don't want the head to fall forward or to be crammed, chin on your chest. Just stay up and open. And if the hand doesn't want to slide lower, that's totally fine. Some people like to grab the hand from below. If that's your thing, of course you can do that too. Sometimes that helps you to stay more open in the chest, because you can't really bend forward, otherwise your hands will lose contact. Then release the hands, give them a little shake, and then change sides, putting the left hand between your shoulder blades. And I'll just do the same variation, if that's possible. We're not always symmetric. Especially when we're stretching, we realize that we're not 100% symmetric, which is totally fine. So you can either grab the elbow, pulling the elbow a little bit lower, inside and the hand a little bit lower, or grabbing your hand from below. And that might feel a little bit odd on that side, that's totally fine. Just do what's possible with staying open. Keep the head lifted. Great. Stretching the shoulder. Shoulder crosses. Starting with the right hand, crossing over. Then grab the right hand with the left arm and pull the arm towards your chest. This will make your shoulder probably come up and go forward, which we don't want. So bring the shoulder back and down and resist the pull. So you're having two opposite directions here going on. One side is pulling towards your body, trying to lift the shoulder and pull it forward, but you want to do the opposite. You want to keep the shoulder open, chest open, pull the shoulder blades towards the spine, and don't worry too much if you don't feel the stretch. Sometimes mobilizing is all we need. Great one. Then let's change side. Left arm crosses the chest. The arm is parallel to the ground, and the other arm comes 90 degrees, pulls the left arm towards the chest. And here again, first stand really tall, planting the heels into the ground. And then you want to resist the pull of the shoulder going up and forward. And you want to pull the shoulder back and down, creating this nice counter movement here. Very good. Your breathing should be calmed down already. Your heart rate as well. Maybe the sweat is still dripping. It's fine. And then open the chest. We've been doing a lot of plank work, so you can't do enough chest opener here. Interlace the fingers behind your sacrum, then lift both arms up. And you might want to bend those elbows slightly so they don't overextend. Then lift the chest, make your collarbones smile, and lift the chin, lift the gaze. That's a great stretch you can do very often, especially when you're working in front of your body, which makes sense to work in front of your body so you can see what you're doing rather than behind. But that creates a lot of tension in the front, chains in the shoulders and the chest. So this is a great counter movement. Here we go. Our legs have been working. So let's do some quad stretching balance poses. So grab your right foot, push the hip forward, engage the glutes a little bit so that your hip stays extended. Then bring both knees parallel, both knees on the same height. Both knees can be touching. And then enjoy this little balance pose. You can have the other arm wherever you like. You can grab the foot with both hands, or the other arm can help you with the balance. Remember, every time we balance, our intrinsic muscular skeleton has to work, which helps us to get more stable. And here we go, changing sides. Good little reference to the Arabian Nights. Grabbing the left foot, aligning both knees, and then push those hips forward. Imagine yourself in a desert caravan, slowly marching forward in a very steady and even rhythm. So calm down your breath, keep the chest open, pick the nose, the chin up, and stay grounded with your heel in the mat or floor. Very good, and let go. And just to release everything, we're going to go into a forward fold. This is a great calming stretch. So plant the feet parallel, hip width apart, and just fold forward like a cascade running forward. You want to release the shoulders, the arms, let the head hang. Very important to include the head into the stretch, otherwise you stay contracted in the neck. So don't look down, look to your knees. The nose tries to touch the knees. And those arms where you just hang, you can play with flexing and stretching, with moving a little bit. Very nice. That was a great workout. I really love this one. Not too hard, I hope. Otherwise, you can always get one of the other Espresso workouts in the playlist and on my channel, where I hope I'm going to see you very soon. Bye!